And now we're going to make the stuffing for kebbe balls. Even it would be the stuffing for Kebbe Bissaniyeh, which means kebbe in a dish, in a big dish that goes into the oven. So what we need about 250 grams of beef, minced beef. We need one diced onion, very small dice, salt, cinnamon, sweet pepper, and a drop of oil for cooking. So now we put a drop of oil. For the ones that like to cook with less fat, you can do without the oil, since this is the non-stick kind of pan. So first I would place the onion in the pan. And now we add the meat gradually, because we need to make sure it gets crushed in with the onion. We need to beat the meat and crush it down with the onion, like this way, so that it doesn't stay into lumps. The meat really breaks down with the onions. Now it's nearly done. We're going to add some pepper, cinnamon and salt. But before that, I'm going to add some pine nuts, just a bunch of pine nuts. But pine nuts are optional. Some people might be allergic to nuts, so you don't put pine nuts. With others, you do. So we're going to put some pine nuts in the meat, mix it all together. So we're going to put some sweet pepper, some cinnamon, and some salt. I'm going to show you how to make Kebbe Bissaniyeh, which means kebbe in the pan. This pan will go in the oven. So it's layers of kebbe dough, some mincemeat that we've fried with some pine nuts and onions, and we will put a first layer of kebbe, then the layer of the stuffing, then another layer of kebbe, and we will place all in the oven. We take a small amount of dough, place in the middle, and we flatten it out. We make sure it's about 4 millimeters thick in thickness. That's why it's better to gradually add the dough as you go along. That way the thickness would be equal everywhere. So as you can see, I chose a small tray. That way I can make several trays with this amount of dough. And I can also use some of the dough to make kebbe balls. So here I need a little bit more. At the very end, I simply dip my hand in a little bit of water and then smoothen out the dough. And now, after I have flattened out, as you can see, the kebbe dough on the bottom of the pan, and it's only about a thickness of 4 millimeters, I'm going to put the actual stuffing inside and then put another layer of kebbe. So this is how we do it. As you can see here, there is the stuffing everywhere in the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to go to the next step, whereby I will take kebbe dough again and I will put it into a bowl and start from the middle and then go outwards. So we flatten this out to be just above 5 millimeters thick, this thick, and then we place it in the middle, and then we take more dough, we flatten it out, make sure to try and get the same thickness every time, and just add it. Kebbe seems difficult, but it's actually much easier than we think it is. So here we go. This is for you to see what it looks like before I smoothen it out. So it's like small pieces that I've put together like a puzzle, and now I will smoothen everything out by putting my hand into the water, and then by doing the design that we see on top of the Kebbe Bissaniyeh, like our grandmas used to make. So first of all, we're going to make a hole in the middle, all the way through. I've made a hole in the middle, as you can see, because that's how the oil is going to go inside and also cook it right through to the bottom. So we take a knife and we cut a cross, and then another cross diagonally, and once we have our 4 squares, each one can be designed differently. You go about making lines in this one, and then you just twist it round and you make opposite lines. If you like to have lozenges, not squares or rectangles, after you've done this, you will simply place some oil on top and put your kebbe in the oven at 180 degrees for around 35 minutes. It becomes nice and brown and crunchy on top, and we eat it with a salad. So you can find our recipe and how to make it and the ingredients and the amounts on our websites www.cookandeat-lebanese.com.